right, for people just walking in, we're making a polenta Cajun tilapia dish with a black bean corn salsa, bacon, and a Alfredo marinara sauce. It's good spice to it, but it's not like a spicy, it's flavorful on top of everything. What's real nice about actually working on a line in a kitchen is you don't really have to prep ever. Everything's there, everything's made, like we have our own prepper, so they make sure that we're constantly stocked, we have everything we need, and we're trying to just throwing everything together because we still do have a 10-minute ticket time. But first we're gonna start off by cutting everything up for the black bean corn salsa. And one thing with cutting peppers is you really want to just not waste anything, including the tops. Like I see a lot of people throw like top away. You can just easily punch out the top, and then inside just, no one wants any of that. One thing too, cutting peppers, so you always want to be careful. The outside skin's really slippery, and you don't want to cut yourself. And if you work in a kitchen, you're guaranteed to cut yourself a couple times, burn yourself. It's painful. You get over it. And okay, before, this is actually good to see though. A lot of people have the urge to grab things like this to cut. Okay. You're probably gonna cut your hand at one point. You wanna be, it's like a claw, you wanna be here, because then when you start cutting down, especially when you start going, you hit your right here and not on top. And then a good way to get this bottom core out is just take the back end of the knife and just come under it. And then get that little piece out. What I like to do is just do individual slices all the way down. So, kind of go down. I like to flip to the other side just so you're not working downhill, you're working uphill. So cut into like thin slices a little bit because we're going to dice them. And then you individually dice each little piece after that. We chose this New Orleans Cajun seasoning mix. It'll be mild overall. A lot of people, when they think of spicy, or like Cajun, they think spicy. Cajun's not spicy. It's like spicy how like a jalapeno popper is. It's like it has the flavor there, but since none of the seeds are there, it's not hot. The polenta will give it that nice little grit for texture. And Michigan State has we're in the top 3 programs in the world for hospitality management. Our biggest side of hospitality management is hotels. It's where everything started. The opportunities though are really just crazy. We have a lot of speakers come in who do like finance. We have CEOs come from major managing companies. Another thing that's really good with our school is our internship programs. Not a lot of schools require having internships at State. We require 2 different internships with a minimum of 400 hours worked over a 10-week period. But just do real thin slices. Make sure you let the knife do the work again. What I like to do for cutting quickly is cut everything in a line. And then you just kind of let the knife slide along. It's corn grits. It's a little bit thicker. It's a good texture. Yep, it's set at 455, and they should be done in about 9 minutes. It's on the bake setting, not the broil setting. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is make the sauce that's gonna top everything. Use all the bacon. No, you can't have too much bacon. That's not a thing. Have our own Yeah, made a lot. And this is always a nice thing to learn how to do. Basically, it's all kind of the rest. It's a down, and then you get to here, and then you flatten up, and you let everything fly off kind of like a ramp.
You will not do it the right way their first 10, 20.
No, it takes a while to learn. It looks easy, but then all of a sudden you start flipping it, and then you get hot barbecue sauce on your hand, and you have a burn on your hand, which makes your next day even more fun because your hand hurts. But once you learn how to do it, it's really convenient, it's really nice. So once all this stuff gets a little hot, a little softer, the veggies get a little softer, the bacon gets more crispy, we're going to add the sauces, and we're going to add more of the Cajun to it. What's nice about Cajun seasoning is it will thicken up the sauce a bit so it's not as runny, which is always good. And then you also got to make sure you don't use too much oil. Because if you've ever gone out to eat and have seen like, been at a table that's not like perfectly fine, you see like oil kind of going to the edges. Another fun thing about cooking, it's all about eyeballing. I don't measure a lot of things. Actually, I hardly measure things.
When you do prep, you might want to measure more.
Yeah, you measure a little bit more prepping, but overall, it doesn't matter a whole lot. It gets a nice little creamy.
Just a little.
And this will thicken it up a bit. No, that's fine. And that's the sauce. It's nice about cooking things on a... And this is what's real nice about cooking on a saute pan. Everything cooks real fast. So pretty much when you poke it and it's not bouncy, it's done. Tilapia is a good fish because when it gets to a point, it'll start to crack right through here. That's a sign showing that it's almost done. And you want to wait till most of them are doing all that. So this has about 2 more minutes left on it. And it'll be good to serve. Fish mustard really helps everything just not stick. Yeah, I put a lot on the first.